Good morning. I have 7 a.m. We'll go ahead and be started with the operational briefing for the sites and point fires. My name is Gwendolyn Ozard. I am the Planning Section Chief for CAL FIRE Incident Management Team 4. Before we get started, please take a moment and turn your cell phones off and your radios down. If you do need to have a side conversation, please step outside of the briefing area. Please turn with me to page 1 of your IAP and we'll review the objectives. Our management objectives remain unchanged. For our control objectives, for the point fire, keep the fire within the current perimeter. Our control objectives for the sites fire, keep the fire north of Old Wilbur Road, keep the fire south of the Glenn-Colusa County line, keep the fire east of the Mendocino National Forest boundary line, and keep the fire west of the Tehama-Glen Canal. Current situation.
Good morning, Trevin Close, night operations. Starting with the point fire, no increase in acreage yesterday. A lot of good progress being made by crews. They're going well interior, chasing hot spots, improving control lines, and backhauling trash. Moving over to the sites incident, no increase in acreage yesterday. No islands burned out yesterday, which was good. All control lines are direct. Hose lays are in place where needed. Crews are doing a great job. They're going well interior on the whole fire, chasing stump holes. Suppression repair has been staffed really well the last couple days, and they're getting a lot of good work done and hitting a lot of projects on the whole fire. The southern end of the fire is re-energized and repopulation continues. End of report. Thank you for all your work.
Weather.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Mike Seaman, incident meteorologist. The main thing I want to stress again today is the heat. We've been in this heat wave for several days. We're going to again see temperatures rise this afternoon, so just keep that in mind. Stay hydrated when you're out there in the field. Starting with the point fire, we continue to see that marine influence in the morning, so we once again saw excellent overnight humidity recovery above 80%. Temperatures this morning are starting out in the 50s. We'll warm those temperatures up into the upper 80s this afternoon with light terrain-driven winds. As we heat up, the humidity will fall down into the 30% range. No real fire weather issues expected over on the point incident. On the sites incident, we're a bit warmer and drier. Humidity this morning is in the 50% range across much of the fire. There is a thermal belt in place up high above about 2,000 feet, so those upper ridges are experiencing humidity down in the 20% range. As we start to heat through the day, we will see temperatures rise up into the mid to upper 90s across the fire area by early afternoon. We'll also see those humidities fall down near 30% by 1300. We'll start to pick up those southeast winds just like we did yesterday, so we're going to see those 10 to 15 mile an hour winds mainly funneled through channels and window line drainages as well as above ridge lines or on ridge lines. As we get into the late afternoon, those winds are going to start to switch out of the southwest. They'll remain gusty, gusts in the 20 to 25 mile an hour range after 1700. We'll also likely see that humidity dip down into the upper teens, so that 17 to 2000 hours is the critical fire weather window to just keep an eye on. But the main thing today, again, is the hot temperatures, so stay hydrated. Details are in your IEP or see me after the briefing. Thank you.
Fire behavior.
Good morning, Ross Dollarhide, Fire Behavior Analyst. To start briefly on the point incident, we've had very favorable overnight humidity recoveries, and with the suppression efforts, we don't anticipate any fire activity on that incident. So moving on to the sites fire, similarly, we're experiencing weather conditions that we saw yesterday. The fire remains static within its footprint in regards to its activity, though there still is a bit of concern in that northernmost area of the fire up near the division break, where the promenance at the tower site is the most wind-prone area of that fire. But where the weather conditions aren't ideal, we're seeing very favorable fuels conditions. And what I mean by that is in that northernmost area, it's experienced fire within the last decade or so. So the brush component that is there hasn't had an opportunity to develop a real dead component or a dry component that will sustain fire. And with that, this fire has become largely fuel limited. The fires come up to the control lines and burned out those fine fuels that have been so receptive over the duration of this incident. But with that, outside of the fire footprint, where the fine fuels are present, pigs remain at nearly 100%. So be mindful of anything that may generate an ember, and take advantage of the elevated humidities this morning. Thank you.
Safety.
Yeah, good morning, everyone. Clint Hamilton, Team 4 Safety Officer. As we continue on with this, you guys, let's follow the line emergency protocol. If we have an issue, let's communicate it through the proper channels, get folks the care that they need, and get them off the line and moving so we can mitigate that issue. The complacency is always what gets us at this point in the incident. Things are slowing down a little bit. We're not keeping our head on a swivel, and the little stuff gets us. Make sure you guys are wearing all your PPE and all that stuff. Keep pushing, but also make sure you guys take breaks. Make sure you watch your folks for fatigue, and have a safe shift.
Division assignments and roll call.
Hey, good morning. Kent Cunningham, Operations CAL FIRE IMT4. So for the points incident, crews will continue to push in, working towards 100% mop up, backhaul of trash, and rehab of lines.
Good morning, Jan Land, Resource Unit Leader for Incident Management Team 4. For roll call, Branch 5, we have Jacob Cowan.
Here.
Robert Peterson, Trainee.
Here.
Division Alpha Alpha, Seth Pindell.
Here.
Chad Benson, Trainee.
Here.
Division Delta Delta Juliet Juliet, Michael Marquardt.
Here.
Sarah Collimer, Trainee.
Here.
Division Mike Mike, Kevin Ryan.
Good morning.
Joel McGaffey, Trainee.
Here.
For Branch 7, we have Shane Frederick.
Here.
Chris Aragon, Trainee.
Here.
Division Romeo Romeo, we have Joshua Lau.
Here.
Jonathan Michelson, Trainee.
Here.
Division Zulu Zulu, Mike Hildebrand.
Here.
Miguel Mendez, Trainee.
Here.
Suppression Repair Branch, we have Stephen Chapman.
Here.
And Deputy Don Pedersen.
Present.
Suppression Repair Group 1, Mike Watner.
Here.
Suppression Repair Group 2, Anthony Pescatori.
Here.
Suppression Repair Group 3, Ryan Wimmer, Trainee.
Here.
Okay. Branch 5, Branch 7, we're going to go out there today. We're going to validate the lines, make sure that everything stayed within its footprint and continues to do so. And we're going to pull hose where appropriate within our divisions. For everyone out there, we asked you to catch this fire. You caught it in less than 72 hours. Okay, that is impressive. Then we came in and we asked you, once it was caught, we asked you to go out there and smash it. Put it down, put it to bed so it doesn't come out. Okay, then we asked you to embrace the grind. Go out there and grind. Okay, go out there and enjoy the steep hikes, the heat, and put this thing out. Today, what we ask of you from operations, we ask that you finish. Go out there and finish what you started, all that hard work, so that we can transition this back to the unit and we can go to the next one. Thank you.
Air operations.
Good morning, Greg Bradshaw, Air Operations, IMT4. Air Operation continues to support both incidents. We are running out of the 7M helibase. We have 7 Type 1 aircraft, 3 Type 3 aircrafts. Included in those numbers, we have a day rescue ship, a night rescue ship, and a night-capable water-dropping helicopter. As a reminder, we're part of your LCES. Always monitor air to ground. Thank you.
Communications.
Good morning, Mike Heffron, Common Unit Leader at Incident Management Team 4. Please turn to page 22 of your IAP. There is no change for the sites of the point fire on the radio call plan. We just ask that line leadership that you guys ensure that everyone is using the correct tactical frequency and has a current clone before they go out online. If you can do that for us, we'll have a good and safe day. Thank you very much.
Medical.
Good morning, Steve McGarry, CAL FIRE Team 4 Medical Unit Leader. The medical plan is located on page 23. So if you take a quick look at that, we'll go over what's going on the point fire first. So there's no significant changes there. They'll have Medic 560 located on the Dry Creek Road near the dam. As far as the sites fire goes, we'll have 2 teams of line medics as well as 2 ALS ambulances assigned, and then the rotary aircraft that's available is listed. Here in camp in Calusa, we have CalMat that's available. We have a physician and tons of supplies, so if you guys need them, they're to my right, your left. There's 2 tents located near the check-in. Canocti is staffed with the MERT, and in box 6 is the emergency reporting information. Please gather that information, pass up the chain of command, and we'll get you the closest available resource. Listed there is a phone number also, and that's a direct landline to site communications. If you have phone access and need anything, give us a call there. Thank you.
Information?
Good morning. Jeremy Hollingshead, Public Information. Please turn to page 27 and 28 of your IAP. Just a reminder, we have QR codes posted throughout base camp. These are for you to scan and upload any photos or videos that you might have taken while being on the incident. And to those of you that have done so already, the PIO shop thanks you for doing that. Now for some updated numbers of the fires. The point fire is at 1,207 acres, 85% containment with 414 personnel. The sites fire is at 19,195 acres, 38% containment with 2,297 personnel. Thanks.
Liaison?
Good morning, Lonnie Olson, CAL FIRE IMT 4. Thank you to all our agency reps and cooperators. Through your teamwork and communication, we've been able to quickly address the impacts to the community. Also, we'll be holding our 10 a.m. cooperators meeting at Atwood Hall. Thank you.
Sonoma-Lake-Napa Unit Chief.
Good morning, Mike Marcucci, and it's always nice to see when you get later on in the incident that the demob list is beginning to grow. I think we're getting about 50 engines out today, which is great news. We're getting people home, although we still have a large crowd here. And that really is due to the work that you have done. We're starting to glide path out, and that's great news. The one thing, though, that I want to point out, and it really strikes me, and I snuck into pre-ops this morning, and I heard this mentioned, so I want to mention it to the group, is that we have a 1,200 acre fire and a 19,000 acre fire, and in 9 or 10 days we're putting that into patrol status, and that is by all of your work, and that's impressive. That was not always the case. 20, 30 years ago, that may be a 3 or 4 week fire. That might have been a career fire at 19,000 acres, and so I want you to take a moment and appreciate the work, because I definitely have. One thing I also want to point out, though, is while we are all public servants, we are all here for the public, we're all here to help our communities get back to what normal looked like the day before the fire, we're also here for each other. And there's very few careers that you can work in that you can go to work and not see somebody for 3 or 4 years and then see them again and pick up right where you left off. There are people you only see at base camp, and I've had that great experience this week just running into folks you haven't seen probably since the 2020 series of fires that we had. So take a moment and appreciate each other. We're really looking out for each other today. It's going to be really hot again today. We've had some injuries yesterday. Those are going to happen. Dealing with them is how we really make that metric work, is how are we getting those folks off the line. So I really ask you today to take a look at each other, look after each other, finish strong, and on behalf of the 600 women and men of the Sonoma-Lake-Napa unit, thank you for the work that you have done. Have a safe shift.
A couple reminders at the conclusion of briefing. If you are an unassigned resource, please look at the demob list, and if you are on the demob list, report at your reporting time. If you are not on the IAP and you are not on the demob list, please report to the unassigned table at the back side of the briefing area and meet with our resource unit leaders over there. For everyone that does have an assignment at the conclusion of briefing, please go to your division breakouts. They are posted around the briefing area. Our next operational briefing will be tomorrow in the same time and same place. Closing comments, Incident Commander.
Good morning, everybody. Dusty Martin, Incident Commander for Team 4. So you just heard from our unit chief of Sonoma-Lake-Napa unit, and talked about in this short period of time we're going to put this fire in patrol status. That is extremely important. The Sonoma-Lake-Napa unit had 2 significant fires back-to-back days. The unit has been stripped. So I cannot thank you enough for all the work that has been done and has gotten us to this point. However, we still have work to do out there. So I ask today that you go out, follow the operations guidance, and put a good day's work in and continue to get this to where we need it to be. We heard from IMET, we heard from safety. It's going to be hot today. Take measures, be ready for it. Logs has got plenty of water and Gatorade out in that parking lot for you all to take with you. Make sure you are well stocked, you're well hydrated, your crews are taken care of before you leave the line. Talked a little bit about complacency. We're getting to that stage in the incident. Yesterday, we did see the calls for line medics and ambulances rise. So please don't get complacent out there. Know where you're at, know what you're doing, take care of yourselves, monitor your crews as we go throughout the day. I ask you to remain flexible today. Be ready. New incidents start, we will adjust and we will support the local surrounding units. Please remain to be flexible as we go through the day. Once again, we need a hard day's work today. We got a couple of days left on this to get this to a patrol status and turn it over the right way back to the Sonoma-Lake-Napa unit, and we could not do that without every single one of you out here. So thank you for the work. Look forward to seeing you in the next couple of days.
That will conclude our operational briefing. If you turned your cell phone and radio off, please return those to your normal volume now, and everyone else, please go to your division breakouts. Thank you.